Alrighty then. Now, back to Yossarian. Yossarian, or Yo-Yo, as his friends call him, is not your average hero. His men think he's crazy, but in the satirical light of the novel, he's portrayed as the only person who realizes there is a war going on. His character contrasts from other heroes in that his goal is to simply stay alive. This may seem like a selfish goal for a protagonist to have, yet the reader roots for him all the same. Why is that? For starters, Yossarian is faced with different enemies than the normal protagonist. Sure, he's in a war and literally fighting for his life, but he also has to fight the idiocy of the bureaucracy within the base. The environment on the base is hectic and inefficient, making the ideal that he strives for stand out because it is logical. In fact, it is the only bit of sound sense in the entire airbase run by scatterbrained bureaucracy of officers. Yossarian's obsession with staying alive at all costs brings into mind a modern expression that is widely used today. I feel silly saying this, but Yossarian's character is the literary embodiment of YOLO. And for those of you who don't know what that is, it means you only live once. Having lost comrades in the war, Yossarian is acutely aware of how short life is. Throughout the novel, Yossarian becomes increasingly agitated with his involvement in the war. Each mission is another endangerment of his life. He insists that millions of people are targeting him and trying to kill him. While this is technically true, his men and most readers don't think of warfare in that way. It's not personal to them. He is quoted saying, "I've been fighting all along to save my country. Now I'm going to fight a little to save myself. The country's not in danger anymore, but I am." Heller, page 446. Yossarian is fed up with flying pointless and dangerous missions for what he believes is an over and done with cause. He simply doesn't care about the seriousness of the war. To emphasize his point that life is short and you can only live it once, he makes a mockery of the tactics meetings and informational presentations. When asked if there are any questions, he would say nonsensical things like, "Who is Spain? Why is Hitler? When is right? And where are the Snowdens of yesteryear?" This last question makes people uncomfortable because Yossarian was with Snowden when he died. He knows very well what happened to Snowden. Snowden's death was a life-altering event in Yossarian's life. It made Yossarian the character that we see in the novel. Snowden's death occurred before the novel took place, but Yossarian's flashback to that fateful mission makes up the main climax of the novel. Yossarian found Snowden mortally wounded, with his insides literally spilling out. He held Snowden in his arms as he died. And here I have a quote. "He felt goose pimples clacking all over him as he gazed down despondently at the grim secret Snowden had spilled all over the messy floor. It was easy to read the message in his entrails. Man was matter, that was Snowden's secret. Drop him out a window and he'll fall. Set fire to him and he'll burn. Bury him and he'll rot. Like other kinds of garbage. The spirit gone, man is garbage. That was Snowden's secret. Ripeness was all." Heller, page 440. Snowden's secret was that life in the body is fragile. One can easily be dispatched and bad things happen to the body. But that last sentence, "ripeness was all," sums up Yossarian's values. It sums up our modern mantra of YOLO. While our bodies will rot away, and we could die at any moment, it is important that you are alive and that you do your best to actually live and experience life to the fullest, to the ripest, so to speak. Coinciding with this flashback, in the present time, Yossarian is offered a deal. He can either be sent home with honors and safety if he says that he approves of the officer's actions, or he'll face a court-martial and severe consequences for his rebellious behaviors. Given his previous actions, one would expect that the decision would be easy for Yossarian to take the deal. Go home. But he agonizes over the decision. He knows that if he takes the safe road, his men will have to fly the dangerous missions that he would have flown. And he finds that deal odious. He loves living a lot. This much has been established. But he feels that life is not worth living without a moral concern for the well-being of others. But that moral concern for the well-being of others endangers Yossarian's life. This is his own personal catch-22. He does not want to take the deal, but he does not have any desire to be court-martialed. He agonizes over this for a while until the chaplain bursts in with miraculous news, or the bombardier, who was believed to be lost and dead at sea, had ended up on the shores of Sweden. This restores the chaplain's faith in God. He believes that the impossible can be done. If Orr can row to Sweden, then the chaplain can stand up to the Hippocratic officers. Yossarian is also struck by this and discovers that he can take on a third option. He's no longer confined to the options put to him by the bureaucracy. Like Orr, Yossarian can escape the military and focus on the duties he owes himself. He takes his chance at freedom and deserts. Again, this is not the behavior of your average hero, but readers approve because he is taking charge of his fate and being true to himself for once. Yossarian only lived once, but you can bet he lived for a good long time.